and welcome to Audiotree Live. Today is Tuesday, May 8th, 2018, and we are very excited to have Olden Yolk in the studio with us today. Take it away whenever you're ready. watching Audiotree Live with Olden Yolk. Hello, everybody. Welcome. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm glad you're here. It's a beautiful day in Chicago. I know you were here a few days ago, but welcome back. So I wanted to ask a little bit about Olden Yolk's origin story. I know, Shane, this was originally a solo project, correct?
Yeah, it started about 2012, but it wasn't really. It's kind of just like a thing I did on the side. Yeah.
So you were in a band called Quilt, correct? And then was this sort of just an outlet for all the things that didn't fit for Quilt?
Yeah, I mean, I really liked making videos, so I kind of just recorded these little ditties to go along with videos.
Gotcha.
For years, and then a friend of mine and I recorded a 7-inch record in 2014 under this name, but still wasn't taking it very seriously. And then...
Yeah. So then how did you guys meet, Katie and Shane?
We met through a mutual friend in Texas, and it was sort of a serendipitous meeting. We only talked for about 5 minutes, but then we kept in touch for a while and shared poems and music, and things just really clicked.
Yeah. Clearly. So, Shane, how was that for you, sort of turning this into a solo project into more of a collaborative one? Was it hard relinquishing control at all, or?
I like collaborating.
Yeah.
I think you always get a really unique product that you wouldn't be able to get through collaboration. It's great when you're playing with somebody whose songs you really love.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then working with these guys has been great. Peter Wagner over here, Dan Drohan, and Jesse DeFrancesco. Yeah, it's been an amazing thing. So.
Yeah. So what does collaboration look like for you in terms of songwriting at this point? Do you guys like send lyrics back and forth to each other, or?
It's a mix of both. You know, Shane and I will work on songs on our own and then bring them to the table, and sometimes we flesh through pieces of a song together. For me personally, I always write the title of the song first, and then I write the lyrics.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit? Like, how does that work? Do you just like find a line that you really like, and then you sort of like think of a world around it?
Yeah, I like having kind of restrictions. There's this movement in poetry I really like called the Ulipo movement, and it's all kind of about rules and as a jumping off point for like a more expansive project. And I come from a writing background, so it's just how I do things.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I've actually thought about doing that before, where you can like, you think of a title and you're like, wow, this is amazing. And you sort of like create this, like you said, a rule or an outline, and then it sort of makes it easier to work within that bracket, I suppose.
Yeah.
So you come from a writing background?
Yeah.
Poetry or long form, or?
Yeah, I studied poetry, and then I worked in bookstores for quite a few years, and
Yeah. How does is writing poetry versus writing lyrics a different practice, or they've come from the same?
Not really.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll write a poem, and then if I want to use it for lyrics, I try to make it more accessible.
Yeah.
And that's really the only main difference.
Yeah, I think about like Patti Smith with poetry, it going into lyric writing, just because to me, with like other lyricists that I love, it's like I feel like they call themselves lyricists, and it's a different practice. But then I think about like Patti Smith, who she just wrote these beautiful poems and then put music to them. And I suppose that's what you guys are doing.
I think
we
that
love
was
Patti Smith. It's one of the first artists we connected over.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we both like that idea of being a musician, but kind of like coming through another outlet first. Like she always calls herself a performer before she calls herself a musician. I've always kind of just thought of the music I make more as like art than music. I'm self-trained, so it's kind of just like an outlet for expression.
Yeah.
And we kind of really bonded over people who do a bunch of different things, but then use music as their main medium.
Yeah,
so.
That's really interesting. And also kind of plays into what you're talking about with video, and also what's going on behind you, which I want to talk about next time, but after you play this song. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Thank you.
So you gave up and turned away after all opposite? And do you look for me? Spinning the lines of the day, looking for your words to say. Am I a mimic? Or am I a topic?
Your fever, sweet accord. Your fever. Your fever, sweet accord. Your fever.
This is Audiotree Live with Olden Yolk. So, like I said, I'm very interested in the projector behind you, Shane. And so you have the projector here, and it also, I think, is many of the same found images in the Cut to the Quick music video.
Cut to the Quick, we used a little bit in Vital Sign, and a little bit in the Takes One to Know One video.
Yeah. So can you explain it a little bit?
Yeah.
Like your thought process behind it?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, when you have music and images together, there's always a different association than when you just hear the music by itself. So more so like working from a subconscious level of just trying to choose imagery that fits the sound and the intention that we're going for, and kind of references a lot of things happening in the political climate these days. So we use this as kind of like an interlacing theme between a lot of the videos and a lot of the songs. And we've been playing with it live, and it feels right. It is
very interesting, and it sort of makes me think about showing versus telling with an audience. And I feel like with the playing with the two together, with your lyrics, and then having it paired with the images, it just really tells a story, and it puts you in a certain place. So did you find all the images, and then put it all together?
Yeah. Search through like hundreds of archived
Yeah.
films.
Yeah. So how long did it take you?
Weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks, and then made like a few different versions. So like for this live version, it's different than the other things. Use different types of footage, but then there's cues that kind of go along between the videos. Yeah, on what you were saying, I think it's always important like to let the audience have their own interpretation.
Yeah.
I think it's like we have our own intentions, and we'll put those out there, but we're not trying to say anything per se,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was actually going to ask you that. Do people come up to you after shows sometimes and sort of give you their interpretations or comment on the projection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been happening a bit. We also do like posters and prints and things like this that have images as well, and people will come and talk to us about those.
Yeah, I was actually going to say something about that your tour posters for Europe and then also for your North America tour have corresponding images with each date. And so are those images just associated with the city that they're in, or just...
I brought them with me. Should I bring them out?
I mean,
it might be too hard, actually.
Yeah.
They're sitting over there.
we could post a picture afterward. But did you made them, correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is it corresponding to the city, or...
I kind of like work in the same way where it's like choosing a lot of imagery that we resonate with, and then like when I go in and pick like each city, then I kind of ascribe the thing. So there's like happy accidents that happen.
Yeah.
Like, I drew this funny dog, one of them, which isn't like, yeah, we drew this funny dog, but then we were playing a venue called the Happy Dog.
Oh.
And so then it like, okay, well, that one's perfect. Put
Yeah.
it there, and then you kind of just feel each city and then see what fits into each place.
Yeah.
But just have fun with it. It's nothing too serious. Yeah.
But I really, like I said before, I really love the combination of it. It just feels like Olden Yolk is just like a well thought out and formed entity and project. It's very interesting,
nice
and I
of
love
you
it.
to say.
Yeah, it just the combination of everything is very very cool.
Well, Shane's a great visual artist, and a lot of that is due to his talent. He designs all of the posters and all the visuals, so
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear the next two. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Cool.
face a fell's island. Was she true and told behind? Did you sense back then? Was she divine? They were out there in the back roads, making time to drink the tea. What did you sense back then? Did you feel defeat? Find you westward, 2 days to find the scene, and sitting in the red boat, sipping on the finest new vaccine. And how faith in dark days they will turn around. It takes one to know one since you've been around. And if you see something in the seated plastic smile, you better say something if you haven't seen it in a while. And if you see something in the seated plastic smile, you better say something if you haven't seen it in a while. Faith in dark days, they will turn around. It takes one to know one since you've been around. And how faith in dark days, they will turn around. It takes one to know one since you've been around. Shoot. All the same. When you come home and your home is gone and you're on your own again, will you count twice when the count is out and count who's on the floor? The beat goes on although you thought the writing's on the door, and it's just some time that's better spent working in the mind. When you can't retreat and you can't speak sweet and you can't fake all the time, or will you wait and keep the wait, or will you break the door? And it takes one to know the way. Tell me, can you hope for more? And have faith in dark days, they will turn around. It takes one
Thank you.
This has been Audiotree Live with Olden Yolk. You can get their album, Olden Yolk, self-titled. It is out now off of Trouble in Mind Records. And if you are in Bloomington, Indiana, they will be at the Bishop tonight with Audiotree alums Spissy and soon-to-be Audiotree alums Omni. They were playing tomorrow on Audiotree Live. And thank you so much to the band for being here. It was great. I loved it. And thank you to everyone in the studio who makes this happen, the sound engineers and the camera and lighting crew. And thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
All right, so you guys want to do it for real now?